Hey everyone. So the topic I wanted to talk about today was Asian American representation in sports. As you guys may know, there are not too many professional Asian American athletes, especially in American sports, especially the larger ones, as in football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and soccer. Out of all male athletes, only about 1.8% of male athletes are Asian American or Pacific Islander, and only about 2.5% of female athletes are Asian American or Pacific Islander. So these statistics obviously show that there are not too many Asian American athletes in the professional world. So this is partly due to some Asian stereotypes, as in Asians tend to be weaker and more docile, and there's also the belief that Asians cannot athletically compete, especially at the higher levels. And then there's also the model minority myth, or the concept of model minority. So this actually discourages Asian Americans from having a career in sports or athletics, because with the model minority, we're generally supposed to improve our financial well-being / improving our socio-economic well-being through education and not sports or athletics, because of previous stereotypes that I mentioned. And it's also considered that the athletic world wouldn't be very prosperous for us nor financially stable because of how weak and a little our frames are as Asians. But obviously this isn't true, as there have been professional Asian American athletes. One of the people that I wanted to talk about was actually Jeremy Lin. So Jeremy Lin, he actually did not get a single Division I offer or scholarship, even though in high school he was still competing with these other Division I athletes and still playing against them and even beating some of them. He would eventually go on to play for Harvard, where he would do very well, and then eventually make it into the league, where he actually broke a record for his first 4 starts. So in his first 4 starts, he's the first person to ever have at least 20 points and at least 7 assists in those 4 starts. So I mean, obviously it shows that Jeremy Lin could play in the NBA, even though he wasn't given the opportunities that most other NBA players had as in Division I offers. So I mean, even though there's been so many stigmas against Asian Americans in professional sports, it's mostly because of stereotypes and discrimination against us and the idea of us being weaker and less athletic. Obviously, as we grow, I hope that there are more Asian American representations in sports and more people that I would be able to relate to / watch as I grow older.